Do you want those things more than you want to meet your goals? If your answer is no, then get over it and stop being a fucking crybaby. Hello, welcome back. Happy Sunday. Here we are. Today I'm going to do a video that I originally was not planning on doing, but a lot of you guys have asked me to do this video. So I decided I'm gonna give you what you want. So today, I think there's balloons stuck on my neighbor's roof. Huh. Anyway, so today I'm going to be talking to you guys about the cut I just did. For those of you that don't know, a cut is a period in time in which an athlete tries to lower their body weight or body fat percentage. So a lot of athletes will go through a cut phase, a maintenance phase, which is where you're just trying to maintain where you're at, and then a mass phase, or a bulk, as a lot of people will call it. And that's when you're trying to put on weight to gain muscle and grow stronger, etc., etc. So I just did a cut for the last 12 weeks. Well, not the last 12 weeks. It's been a couple weeks now since it's been over. And a lot of you guys are asking for me to do a video on my experience. Unfortunately, when I started this cut, I had not really planned on doing a video about it, so I did not record my experience throughout the 12 weeks. So this is not going to be like a lot of the other diet videos you'll see on YouTube where you kind of are going through the experience with me. Anyway, so that's all preamble rambling. What we're gonna be talking about today is essentially how I lost 10 pounds in 12 weeks. And the way I did that was with the RP program. RP is a company short for Renaissance Periodization. They are an incredibly well-respected company. Their programs are completely based on science. It is a team of doctors and nutritionists and trainers and athletes and just very, very knowledgeable people putting together these programs, and that's why it works so well. I'm gonna start out by saying this: RP is not sponsoring this video. I have worked with RP, and by worked with, I mean used their program, for the last year. I started last summer with my first cut, and that was actually going on during the UFC video that I did with Michelle while I was at BuzzFeed. And I have kind of been using their programs ever since. I did a 12-week cut, and then I maintained pretty much until this cut that I just did. So I did, 6 months of maintaining. And so they're not paying me to do this video. They're not sponsoring this video. You guys are just asking how I did what I did, and so I'm telling you. They kind of did, all the hard work, and they're the reason why I was so successful in my cut, and so I can't avoid mentioning them. So now that all that crap is out of the way, I will start by telling you, I really don't know where to start. So, let's see. Why did I decide to do a cut? It was for aesthetics, I'll admit it. There was vanity involved, but it was also for performance. If I can get smaller as an athlete while maintaining my strength, it also allows me to be faster and to have better capacity in my gymnastics because I'm pulling around less body weight. So that's why I decided to do it. And so now I'm gonna give you a brief rundown of how RP works. Essentially, I was counting my macros. That's basically what this program is. But RP arranges it in a way that takes out most of the math for me. I just have to measure my food and know that it will all add up to the right numbers. And for me, that took out the part of counting your macros that felt kind of overwhelming. And so the way it works is they break it down for you in this template that you get. They break it down for you. They tell you how much protein, vegetables, fat, and carbs to eat at every meal. You're eating 4 meals a day, and the amount that you're eating depends on your workouts. So it's not like I'm just eating the same amount of food every day, because that'd be ridiculous. On days I work out, my body needs more fuel than on days when I'm doing jack shit. They're also telling me when to eat how much food and what time of day to eat it. And so It is like, it's a very structured program. They really take all of the thinking out of dieting for you, and it's wonderful. I encourage you to go over to their Instagram or onto their website, because they are like jam-packed with information, and there's just no way that I can coherently spit it all out for you right now. I mostly just want to get into my experience cutting. And basically the way the RP program works is they start you on a base amount of food. As you go along, if you hit a plateau in your weight loss, you move on to another phase of the cut. So you start at base, and then it goes cut 1, cut 2, cut 3. And so essentially what's happening is they're decreasing my fats. My carbs stay the same. This is not a low carb diet. My protein stays the same. My vegetables stay the same. I just decrease my fats every time I kind of hit a plateau in weight loss. And so I'll average my weigh-ins for the week. And if I didn't lose any weight that week, then I'll move on to the next phase. So I was on base for probably 3 weeks, I think, until my weight loss stalled. And then I moved on to cut 1, and I was on cut 1 for, I think, another 3 weeks. And then I kind of hit another wall, and then I moved on to cut 2, and I was able to finish out the last 6 weeks on cut 2. I never had to move on to cut 3. Thank the friggin' Lord, because that's when they start cutting your carbs out. I mean, you know, but I lost 10 pounds in 12 weeks, and that's a very healthy and sustainable amount of weight to lose. If you're just starting out, or if you have a lot of weight to lose, you might see bigger chunks falling off. That was a really weird visual, I'm sorry. But you might be getting bigger numbers. But once you kind of get going, you really shouldn't be losing more than 2 pounds a week. Any more than that, and your body kind of can't keep up, and as soon as you stop dieting or bring your food back up, you're just gonna gain it all back. And so the reason I only cut for 12 weeks is because that's kind of the maximum amount of time that RP suggests that you be in a caloric deficit. You know, your body can't be in a caloric deficit forever. It just is not gonna work well that way. And so after the 12 weeks, I kind of brought my calories from here to here, and now I'm maintaining. You know, for a 12-week cut, my goal was to lose 10 pounds, and I did that. The first time I cut, I lost 15 pounds. And I mean, that's how I did it. It really is that simple. It wasn't a trick. It wasn't a gimmick. I didn't have some secret way to lose the weight. Like, that's really all it was. I followed the RP templates, counting my macros and eating proper foods. They do have approved food lists on the template, so it's not like you can just eat anything you want. It's a lot of food. It's not very restricting. I'm still eating rice and sweet potatoes and peanut butter and, you know, whatever. So what I learned while doing this cut is, first, that science works. No duh. But honestly, what I truly learned doing this cut is that diets don't have to suck. I was not miserable for 12 weeks. I didn't hate my life for 12 weeks. Like, you do not have to be miserable on a diet. And if you're miserable on a diet, then it's not a good diet. That being said, what are you guys barking at? We have an intruder. Stop! There's just little kids in the parking lot. Get down here. Get down. Hank. Hi, big guy. So, I feel like I'm about to contradict myself. Diets don't have to suck, and you should not be miserable the whole time, but also they are not easy, and you are going to have to make some sacrifices. I did go out with my friends to the bar and order a water. Yes, I did bring my own food to that barbecue I went to, and yes, I said no to the free cookies at work. Like, there are sacrifices that you have to make. But you only have to make them if this is something that you really want. And that, I think, is something that you need to be able to wrap your head around before you are able to successfully lose weight in a healthy way. So a lot of people are like, oh, but I want to go out to dinner with my friends, and I want to do this, but I love having a glass of wine at night when I watch Shameless. I don't know, I just picked a show. But it's like, okay, well, do you want those things more than you want to meet your goals? And if your answer is yes, then fucking do it. But if your answer is no, then get over it and stop being a fucking crybaby. I think the thing that trips people up, and this is something that Dr. Mike, who is one of the guys behind RP, has said, you shouldn't tell yourself, I can't eat that, I can't eat this, I can't do that. It has to come from a mindset of, I don't want to do that, I don't want to eat that, because I have goals to meet, and I want to meet those goals. And so if you can get yourself into that place, dieting and cutting and proper nutrition become so much easier. The hard part is getting into that mindset, honestly. And it's tough for a lot of people, and I get that. Like, and you can't just always be dieting. You cannot be dieting 365 days a year. That is not good for your body. And then you just have to remind yourself constantly of your goals and of your priorities, and constantly be reevaluating your priorities to make sure that what you're doing is what you really want to be doing. And as soon as you realize that, I think it becomes a lot easier. This was not about being, I just want to, to me, it's hard. It's a little bit complicated because I'm sitting here and I'm talking to you guys about dieting and losing weight, but it was never about being thin or skinny. I would hope at least that you guys know by now that I don't give a fuck about being skinny. If I did, I wouldn't have the muscles that I have. But do I want six-pack? Yes, I'm allowed to want a six-pack. Do I think everybody needs a six-pack, athlete or not? No, fuck no. There's so many amazing athletes that do not have six-packs, and they don't need them. It's just a goal I have for myself. I'd like to have a six-pack once in my life. It's not something that I obsess over or feel like I need to, be accepted by other people. I think the only time a diet is going to work and it's going to feel good long term, work long term, lots of diets can work short term, is if it's something that you really want and you want for the right reasons and you're ready to commit to it. And so when you guys ask me how I did it, the functional answer is, well, I tracked my food, and if I hit a plateau, I decreased my food. Fats specifically, I really only decreased my fats. But the more emotional answer, I guess, is that it was about, I did it with determination and dedication, and because I had goals that I want to meet, and this is how I'm gonna have to meet them. I don't know. Whatever, I'm rambling now. Anyway, that's how I lost 10 pounds in 12 weeks. I hope that this is what you guys were looking for, or at least answered your questions. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I just rambled for forever. So that's all I got. So I hope that this wasn't confusing. Now my dogs are playing. We're gonna have a noisy outro. Perfect, great. Be sure to like, subscribe. If you want to see what a day on RP looks like, you can watch my What I Eat in a Day video. And for anything else, oh my God, for all other things nutrition related, I have a playlist, and that includes a video about how I got started, so go check that out. And I will see you guys next week. Can you stop playing for you never play until I need you to be quiet.